Hi everyone, here's my review of PowerPoint 2013. Now I've had PowerPoint 2013 for quite some time now, and I'm finally ready to share some of my favorite design and animation features with you. One of the first things that people notice about this version is that the slide size is 16 by 9 or widescreen as a default. Now you can always change this by going to Design and then Slide Size up there. But the nice thing is that when you project in presentation mode, you won't be getting those black bars on the side. So that's number 10. PowerPoint 2013 gives you a lot more background theme options. So if you go again to the Design tab up there, you'll be able to see all the new themes. The really cool thing, however, is that you can now play around with the colors of each theme as well, and you can also see new fonts, effects, and background styles for each theme, so it's a lot more flexible and customizable. In the new presenter mode, you can now see the slide that's coming up as well as the notes. Now I actually encourage you to know your slides well enough so that you don't have to look at the notes, but if you do need to, then they're right here for you. You now also have the option to zoom in on parts of the slide, and you also have a variety of tools like the laser pointer, the highlighter, and the pen to use for marking up your presentation as you're talking. Here I'm going to show you all the new animations. There aren't too many new ones, unfortunately, but there is one small trick that I'd like to show you. There are basically just 4 new animations. These aren't even all technically new. Some of them are just being brought back from a couple versions ago. So there are 2 new entrance effects and 2 new corresponding exit effects. First, we have the compress entrance, which looks like that. Its corresponding exit effect is called stretchy. And finally, we have the stretch entrance and the collapse exit. And these last 2 are the ones I want to use for the trick that I'll show you, which is a super simple flip effect. Just choose 2 objects of the same size, then add a collapse exit to the first, and add a stretch entrance to the second, and make it start after previous in the animation timing. Then line up the objects so that one is behind the other. Doesn't matter which is on top. And here's what you get. Extremely simple, but kind of cool. Wish they had more animations to play with though, but oh well, I guess. Maybe in the next version. There are a few new audio and video features that make life a whole lot easier. For example, there's a variety of newly supported audio and video formats that can now be viewed in PowerPoint without having to download anything else. The full list is scrolling across the screen right now. You can now also export to MP4 video instead of just to Windows Media Video format like you could in the past. And music can now be played in the background much easier with the Play in Background feature on the playback menu. And finally, what I really like is that you can now drag and drop media files directly from folders into the presentation. So as the world is kind of moving toward multimedia formats for presentations, it's getting easier to do that in PowerPoint. While the merge or combine shapes option was available in 2010 through an add-on, it is now easily seen and accessible from the ribbon. This set of features allow you to put multiple overlapping shapes together in various ways. Here's what happens when you use each of these options with 2 circles, for example. Union lumps them together into one, combine takes away the overlapping area, fragment breaks them into 3 separate shapes, intersect keeps only the overlapping region, and subtract completely removes one of the shapes in any overlapping areas. I'll demonstrate some ways to use these by making a simple Mardi Gras mask. First, you insert 2 teardrop shapes. Then you extend the tips upward using the yellow dot. Next, put the 2 shapes together, select both, and choose Union to merge them into one. After that, create 2 ovals for the eyes and put those on top of each other as well. Now select both of them and choose Intersect to merge into the eye shape. Enlarge the eye and put it on top of the mask, and then create a copy to make the other side match. Then select all 3 pieces and choose Subtract to cut out the eye holes. Resize the mask now, add a rectangular handle, and merge it with the rest using the Union option. And now use one of the 3D preset formats to finish it off. And we are ready to try it on. Not a bad fit. There are now expanded options for picture fills, which I really like. Here is a regular picture of a cat, for example, along with a rectangle which will fill in with a picture of a cat so we can get additional benefits with this picture. One new feature is that if you go to the Shape, Fill, and Picture option, you can now search directly on Bing for picture fills, although you're limited to just the Creative Commons pictures here. The other option that I really like is that if you go to the Shape Styles menu, you can scroll down and paste a picture directly from the clipboard, so you don't have to save anything to your computer first, which eliminates a lot of clutter. Let me copy the cat to my clipboard so I can use it as a picture fill in my rectangle. And then I click on the clipboard here to make that work. Now the 2 pictures look exactly the same, but the one on the right has an advantage in that I can now change the transparency level, and I can also tile the picture as I show you in more detail in my mosaic video. After tiling, I can create a mask and then create a cool text effect. And I show you how to do masks in one of my other videos too. So 2 simple but very convenient new features, especially that clipboard option. You can now preview your animations in a variety of ways. Let's take this slide from one of my other videos as an example. This is what the full animation looks like. But if I want to focus on just the rolling ball piece, I can select just these 2 animations and see what it looks like without having to play the rest of it. I can also see just the end part of this by highlighting here and clicking play from. The really cool new feature though is the ability to preview your motion paths so that you can see where the animation will end. Let me show you an example. Let's say I have a ball that I'd like to toss to my other hand. When I create the motion path, I have to make sure that the ball will go exactly where I want it to. So let's try this out. Perfect. The eyedropper tool is an extremely useful new feature. It allows you to color in objects with the same color as something that's already on the slide. So for example, if I have a hat that I'd like to match to the rest of my outfit, all I have to do is go to Shape Fill, select the eyedropper, and select my jacket to take its color and match it to the hat. And there you go, a perfectly matching outfit thanks to the eyedropper. And we finally arrived at my number 1 feature, which is the new transitions. There are 11 new ones, and they've also brought back the random transition, so you could call it 12. As I'm sure you've noticed, I've been using these throughout this video so you can see what they look like. However, there is one transition in particular that I'd like to show you in a slightly more interesting way, just to wrap up the video. And that is a wrap. I hope you enjoyed, especially since I almost broke my camera equipment while I was filming this. As you can probably tell, this was meant to be way more than just a review of PowerPoint 2013. It was really meant to be a demonstration of all the creative things, or many of the creative things that you can do while combining animation and video together. Now, this video was done entirely in PowerPoint 2013 with the video embedded and a lot of the animations added on top of it. Very, very carefully timed animations. In fact, it took me months and months and months to come up with all of these ideas and to make the animations just right so that they would all work out. Tons of trial and error, which is why I'm a year late releasing this video, releasing it in 2014 instead of 2013. So hopefully it was all worth it and you learned something new, maybe about PowerPoint 2013 or maybe a new way of doing animations, especially with video. So if you like the video, please comment, like, and subscribe so I can make more videos. And if you haven't checked out my other ones, please do so as well. So thank you so much for watching, especially if you stuck with me all the way to the end. Really, really appreciate it. And I'm going to leave you now with one final transition, which I actually don't recommend using very often, especially for business or formal presentations. Thank you and see you soon.